Hello, everybody. Good evening. I have absolute goosebumps right now. I'm just beside myself. I could cry. I'm not even joking with you. I just feel like I never thought in a million years the hard work that I've been putting into this channel and the documentaries I make would have such a profound impact as they have. I know that a lot of people will download my documentaries and share them elsewhere. I wouldn't even probably begin to understand the reach that they've had. I have insane stuff to show you, like insane proof that my documentary that I made has reached some important people, right? And I kind of want to talk to you guys about that tonight and talk about the impact that has just been made. I'm just kind of blown away. I made this documentary about Jeffrey Epstein's connections to Interlaken, but in that documentary, I actually, um, you know, um, exposed multiple networks that had ties to Interlaken School for the Arts, and it was pretty mind blowing what took place because I get an email not too long ago from a gentleman that lives not far from Interlaken saying, someone from Interlaken sent me your video, a person that works in the cafeteria or whatever. So I knew that people at Interlaken School for the Arts, where supposedly on paper, legally speaking, like, where Jeffrey Epstein groomed his first victim that we know of, right? And her name was Nadia Bjorlin, right? Was supposed to be on paper that went after Epstein, that we know of right now. That's where the first victim what was groomed and abused was from Interlaken. And so I made this documentary, and I know people at Interlaken have seen it. And so I want to point out one crucial part is that actually in the documentary, something that I felt God put on my heart was to call out Interlaken School for the Arts and say, if you guys truly care about these kids, you will bulldoze this cabin that is a stain on the history of your facility. And I went through and I mean I cleaned their clock, dude, with this documentary, dude. And guess what just happened? I called for the destruction of the Jeffrey Epstein cabin at Interlaken School for the Arts. And I kid you not, Interlaken is going to demolish the lodge that was donated by Jeffrey Epstein. And this literally came out today. And my friends locally here that watch my documentary, that watch my channel and know what I'm doing, just got a hold of me and told me about this. And they're like completely blown away. Like, dude, I can't believe that this is happening. And it just goes to show that God is doing something mighty. And there is a move to expose and destroy and dismantle the kingdom of the enemy on this earth, and that there is power in the blood of the Lamb to hold back darkness. Everybody kind of diminishes, uh, you know, Jesus and his authority and his power, but to put together something like I did, and for this to happen, I mean, I couldn't be more ecstatic right now. Like that means that the people at the top in at Interlaken that make big decisions have decided to uh, do exactly what I said, and I called for the destruction, and I said bulldoze it because I here's the thing: I did not want to say, well, you should just burn it down. It's an evil place. You know, I told and I called upon Interlaken themselves, like, hey, you need to destroy this cabin that was donated by Jeffrey Epstein. I went there. I even stayed the night in the dang cabin, which was a misery, but I exposed it, and there was even a secret room. Like they're bulldozing it. It's gonna be gone. Like this just came out of the local news here in Michigan today, and it lets me know that an impact is being made. And I'm super thankful that God is allowing the documentaries that I put so much effort into to have that kind of an impact where they're going to tear down Jeffrey Epstein's cabin. My documentary did that, and God paved the path. God blazed the trail, and it's no coincidence, man. It's no coincidence that they decided to do this, man. No coincidence at all. And I couldn't be more encouraged, man, and on fire to continue the next documentary that I'm working on right now. The one that I'm working on right now is even bigger than the Interlochen documentary. There's a lot to it. I just talked to some important people earlier today that just kind of confirmed a lot of stuff for me, and I'm gonna see where it goes. But I mean, I'm already starting to work on editing the next documentary, and I'm finishing up investigating. I'm kind of at a standstill with being able to get back down to Grand Rapids. It takes an awful lot. It takes about $65 per trip, and I just don't have it. And there's a couple of places I still have to investigate down there. So if the Lord leads you to support a documentary, that's exposing pedophiles and pedophile networks and these satanic pedophile death cults that exist, I sure would appreciate it, and I don't want to be a beggar or nothing like that, but I can't do it without, the support of God's people. And so, but I'm trying to go after big fish. There's some big fish out there to fry that have kind of gone unnoticed. And I'm excited to be able to expose it. And, I have a few documentaries planned for the future. There's no lack of them, that's for sure. So I know I'm going to be busy with this, for some time to come. And it's this kind of stuff right here. This is what makes me want to keep going, is seeing the impact that my documentaries have made, and to see that I call for the destruction of the Jeffrey Epstein cabin in my documentary, and then they're actually going to do it. They're going to demolish the Jeffrey Epstein cabin. I'm going to have to clip that. I'm going to have to clip that out of my documentary and make like a short where I called for the destruction of it. But I showed, in the documentary from, Google Earth and from above, where the cabin's at, how close it was to the young girls that were at Interlochen, and the amount of child abuse that has been going on at Interlochen for so long. I think we finally put a dent in something. You know what I'm saying? Like we've finally seen an impact be made, a place not be able to prey on kids anymore like Interlochen was doing. In a place where, parents think twice about sending their kids to a camp like this. You know what I mean? Where sexual immorality is promoted, and they treat these kids like they're adults. And man, I have to get a hold of, the people that were in the documentary with me, Gwen, that was in the documentary that gave her testimony. She's gonna freak out when she hears this news, that they're going to demolish the lodge. This is huge, absolutely huge. And I mean, I I don't mean to keep repeating myself. I literally have goosebumps right now, though. Like this is, I mean, and I this is what I'm seeing. I wonder how much impact the documentary made in them making Interlochen a more stable place for kids to learn music. And a lot of people, I have a feeling that the funding isn't going to be what it was, and the attendance isn't going to be what it was. And they're like, we're going to have to do something. We got people making documentaries about us now. Yeah, you're darn right. You messed with the wrong dude, man. I not only have investigative skills, but I can make documentaries, and I can edit, and I can make music and all that stuff. And it was effective. And I even had someone from Grand Rapids contact me, that had seen this documentary and said that it was, a very powerful documentary. And I actually, what I want to do right now for those who haven't seen it, I just want to show the intro to my documentary so people can just kind of check that out, and you can kind of get an idea of what it is. But this thing, it's a heavy hitting documentary. It's 1 hour and 44 minutes of just complete chaos. I'm only going to show like 3 minutes of it here.
Interlocked. Epstein and the Camp of Evil.
And then so it goes into the documentary after that, but that was just the intro or whatever, and I put a lot into it. And I'm just so thankful to finally see that they are going to destroy Jeffrey Epstein's cabin. And I don't know anybody else that's called for the destruction of the cabin. I did in the documentary. That's all that I know. I don't know anybody else, that would even recommend that. and they were making money off that cabin. And there was even stuff that I found later on, because I have new files since I had made the documentary, where it even talked about how he had some of the kids going and staying at his cabin at Interlaken. So I'm glad that it's getting bulldozed. But the footage inside the cabin, everything that the cabin was, has been documented in my documentary. So they can't hide it. They can, they're not hiding anything by bulldozing it. But I see it as, it's making a right, what's been wronged. It's like, let's put, if you really are, helping these kids out, you know what I mean? If you really are helping these kids out, you need to get rid of this cabin, because this is, they changed the name from the Green Lake Lodge to the Green Lake Heritage House. What heritage are they trying to honor? The heritage of a pedophile? Because Jeffrey Epstein even went to their camp. And dude, I'm telling you, it's a good documentary, and I hope it stirs some people up to watch it. It made a big enough impact for, there to be a response from Interlaken, and that they're literally, because of my documentary, are going to destroy the Jeffrey Epstein Lodge at the Interlaken School for the Arts. God be praised. God is good, and God is fighting. And God is standing up for the children, man. And I couldn't be more ecstatic. So with that being said, I'm going to get off of here. I wanted to get on here and tell you guys about this good news. I'm super excited about it, and I will keep you updated as I know more. May God bless you all. May he keep you. And please don't forget to go out and change this world in which you live.